Oh, y'all all right?
I'm
Well, I am too. I'm happy we won a game. Tell you what, it was fun. You know, coming back and win a game. We've been, as Thomas has documented very well, very, very fortunate to come back from a halftime deficit, because in most games we don't. So I was excited about the fact that our guys hung in there and overcame some adversity and won a tough game on the road. We didn't play our best. That's definitely the case. And we go for a half trying to figure some things out, because they were in a totally different defensive package than what we had seen in all the film that we had had. And so we had some pretty heavy halftime adjustments to make. And you know, it was good to see our guys be able to go out and come back with a plan that was a little bit different and give us a little bit chance to change some of our blocking schemes around a little bit to give us a chance to have some success in the second half. And at that point, we kind of got ourselves settled in and got to the point where we could get the ball moving a little bit. But up to that point, it was a struggle. And defensively, it was a little bit of a struggle, especially when after we get up 10-7 and then 10-3, and then we give up a 2.5 play drive. I guess we had a penalty, and then we had a two-play drive for all practical purposes. They hit it all on seam ball that we should have knocked down, and then they hit a daggone draw that we should have made a tackle. Guy just crumbled up in a little ball of doggone dirt and couldn't find his way to make the tackle. You got to go on and throw at the guy one way or the other instead of just kind of falling down. That was disappointing. But besides that, I thought we played really well on defense.
You see this win as a character builder?
Well, let me tell you, you can get character in losses too, but yeah, let's hope that it builds some character. Whatever the situation is, win or lose, you know, you do get better if you take the information that you've gathered and use it to the best of your ability that way. But at the same time, I'd much rather character build on a win than a loss.
What are things now stand at quarterback?
Well, we hope to play both of them. We will try to put a package together for both guys. Neither guy's fully healthy. Both guys have got a little bit of a hitch in their get up. Collex still got a little bit of a deal with his left shoulder, and Wiley's got a little bit of a deal with his left arm. You know, the best part about it is that they're both right-handed, and it's both their off hand or arm or whatever. So, you know, that is a good thing, except for the fact that we don't necessarily know who's going to be the closest to healthy on Saturday. But it appears that we will try to put plans together for both guys. And as that goes, you know, as the week goes, we'll decide, you know, how both plans look and who might play the most or win.
I think it's great to have an ace in the hole.
Well, yeah, but it's worse to have two C's in the hole. How about that deal? But yeah, we got some plans. You know, the fun thing about it is that, you know, they get to be B's. That's the best thing. Both guys are getting better, and they're both works in progress. You know, you see some good things and bad things. You see some things you wish they'd do better. But at the same time, it's not for lack of effort. Both guys are working hard. They're great guys, and you know, they're doing the very best they can.
Well, Coach, it's been 6 years since you've had a running back rush for 100 yards in 4 straight games. Is this something Jalen can do against this Aggie defense?
No. We haven't quite figured it out yet, Thomas. We like to think that he could, but you know, I'm sure there's 11 bloody-eyed Aggies up there waiting to stop him from doing that. But at the same time, we are going to try to run the football. You can bet that. And you know, if that is the case, then I think Scoop will somehow or another be involved. We'll see.
I'm very concerned going to the A&T game. What they present.
Shoot, I don't know. A&T's offensive attack is really special. You know, they didn't play that little old running back kid. What's his name?
Cohen, Tariq Cohen.
Number 20. I just know he's number 28.
Tariq Cohen.
They didn't play the little running back kid against Howard. They tell me, so they just got to hold him out waiting for our game. You know, he's a little bitty thing. And he one of them guys that can cut out the lights and get to bed before it gets dark, you know. So, you know, we got to figure out how to do something about him. You know, their quarterback, Quick, is extremely athletic and can run like the wind. So, you know, they give you a double-edged sword there as to what, you know, you're going to have to be able to defend. Defensively, our coaches think their secondary might be as talented and as well coached as any we see. And you know, their linebackers, you know, the little boy that played at Mallet Creek, what's his name? Let's see, he's number 4, defense, his name is,
Devontae Grant.
Devontae Grant. Yeah, they got so many Devontae Grants until it's kind of hard to keep up with him, but he is special. And, you know, he's their most active player. You know, inside, you know, the Neal kid, you know, they got all kinds of issues there that make you really worry. And he's playing tremendous football. The only game they lost by 1 game to Coastal. You know, and should have won that game. Now, Coastal turned the football over like I've never seen them turn the football over again in that game. But, you know, they're really good. And, you know, it's going to take all we can do to try to figure a way to just kind of hang in there with them and hopefully try to win a game at the end.
Does Grant remind you of anybody that you?
Say it again?
Running back. Does he remind you of anybody?
He's a little bit smaller, Will Ford, you know, but he's got that kind of stuff with it. He reminds you a little bit of the kid that plays running back at Coastal. He's a little bit of a jump around, jump cut, shake and bake. And you know, when you think that, you know, that they just kind of try to run around you and they drop their head on you, they try to run over you from time to time. So, you know, these guys are extremely talented and extremely entertaining to watch. Especially when I watch them play other folk. I don't know how entertaining it is to watch them when they're playing us. It ain't quite as much fun when he's running up, but he's ripping through your own defense.
Quick went down in the 3rd quarter out of the game.
There's nothing wrong with him. Hell, they just hold them guys. They're getting ready to play us. And, you know, more power to them that way. You know, I wish we could afford to do the same thing. We just didn't quite have that luxury under our circumstance. We didn't have that big lead like they did.
What do you think at this point is the difficulty you're having when it comes to being able to score?
You know what? If I knew that, Thomas, I'd jump right on it and fix it. You know, part of our deal is we've struggled in our short yardage and goal line attack. Every time we get down close to the goal line, you know, we've struggled to get it in. And I don't know whether we played against real good teams down there or we just hadn't quite handled our business down there. But we're trying to visit that fact to figure out, you know, what we can do to become more consistent down in that part of the field, down in that scoring territory. But you know, I think that's been as much to do with as anything. The next thing is we play some pretty good defensive football teams. And, you know, sometimes they have a tendency to kind of get you slowed down a little bit too.
How physical do you think this game is going to be projected to be?
How physical? As physical as they come. But now, you know, they're not any more physical than the rest of the teams we played. Not the Clemsons and the, you know, and the Coastals and the Hamptons of the world. But at the same time, you know, they are a physical football team, but that, you know, that's just kind of part of business at this point. I don't know if that's quite that big a deal. The question we ask now is how highly skilled are they, how coordinated are, how, you know, how well do they work together and that kind of stuff. And, you know, I can tell you that on all those questions, the answer is very, very highly.
Well, Coach, it seemed like Justin Hughes benefited from the home cooking he had. How do you bring that home cooking to Atlanta? Well,
you know what? I need to get his mom in Atlanta and see if we can get her to cook something. Actually, he didn't go home at all. The home cooking we had was by Marriott. So as cooking goes, you know, we just gonna try to see if we can feed it the same way in Atlanta. It's more than anything else, Justin's had a good fit with the new staff. Coach Barton and Coach Restivo have been able to, you know, press his buttons in a way, have been able to clarify his reads to him in a way that he sees it better. He has a little bit better understanding, you know, what he's trying to get done and where he's supposed to go. And once those guys know where, he could always run and hit. It was just sometimes he run and hit in the wrong direction. You know, that certainly don't help it very much. And now he knows where to go, along with the fact that he arrives there in a, you know, in a real bad sense of fashion of sorts. So, you know, I think that he's really playing very, very well. And you know, I didn't know that Justin would play this well. That's been maybe the most pleasant surprise, you know, so far of our football team, except for the fact that we got all these young guys. You know, I'm looking at these young guys here. Let's see, that's playing for us. You know, that's a 2, that's a 1. I'm talking about guys that's actually starting for us. Trey Sanders, that's a 1. Mikael Moody behind him, that's a 1. Lehman's a 2. Josh Brown's a 2. Eric Dickinson's a 2, Devin Fry's under with Andre Brown, Alice Glover, James Sells, Javon Hargraves, Andrew Carter, Charles Brock Hughes, Darius Lennox a 1, Marquise Jones is a 2, Antonio Hamilton, Philip Henry is a, Rich Paul is a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we got 7 or 8 guys playing for us that are just 1 or 2s. I mean playing for us. Then, not to mention all of our special teams game. So you talking about a young team that's just trying to find its way to a certain degree. And the best part about it is these guys, you know, are quality people that will be here for a long time and will also continue to grow and develop and get better.
That's paramount, is having that depth and active is plus for you.
Well, it's never thought to be a plus for it because you would hope that you'd have these guys backing up who've been in your program for a while, but you know, it is what it is, and they're starting to play pretty good. So yeah, you know, right now I think it's quality depth. I think it's got more to do with the quality right now than the experience of it all. But now we do have our issues sometimes with some of the youth that we have within our outfit.
Speaking of the youth in the secondary, they had 2 interceptions. What do you think that would do for their confidence?
You know what? I didn't even see what's got me on here. Let's see, because he's the nickel corner. That's Carlos Merritt. Yeah. Yeah, on the depth chart. Yeah, he's a 1. Yeah, that's another guy. Buddy Pough behind him is a 1. Mira Cooper's a 2. Chestnut's an older guy, but he's just okay. Yeah, I think our secondary is playing very well to be, you know, as young as they are. We make some mistakes, and there'll be a time when we should have our back turned on the guy when we ought to be faced him or something of that nature. The bottom line is you know, I think they'll improve as they get older and better, as older and more experienced.
You handled this team pretty good in the last 14, 15 years. Is that gonna be a plus for you on
A&T? No. I hadn't held Rod Broadway hard at all. To be perfectly honest with you, the year that we beat them down here, it was a struggle. They led us most of the game. And then the year after that, then they beat us up there. Then this past year, we beat them in Atlanta. But now if you look at the film, I look at that film a lot and don't figure out how we won the game.
Last year.
Yes.
Defense.
And then this year we go back to play them again. So it's actually their year this year. We got to figure out how to break the cycle. But we've won on alternating years since he's been there. And you know, if that is the case, then it is his turn right now. We need to figure out a way to break the cycle.
Well, Coach, going back to offensively and trying to score in red zone, it goes back to that revisiting why the guys can't go on the center. I mean, are you going to try to put them more in the center?
You know what? We've been on the center Saturday.
What?
We had 2 instances where we've been on the center,
And
and in both instances we got a first down. And we are working to go under the center even more. You know, that seems to be the old question now that all of the shotgun people, all of the old purists, football purists are asking, you know, as far as the football is concerned. And, you know, it kind of, you know, I think it kind of generates from the Clemson deal with that deal they had at Florida State where they had some instances of some bad snaps and some critical situations when they really probably could have been under. But I've wanted to be under. We actually had some underneath kind of stuff designed in our attack, and we've been underneath 2 or 3 times when we didn't go just short yards goal line. And we are considering, we are working now to possibly go under. Both our quarterbacks can take the snap from underneath, so that's not an issue. So we just got to figure out what we want to do once we go into there.
Is Glover going to be available for this Saturday?
I think he is. We're going to try to see if we can get him going. We've been kind of tender with him, trying to, you know, really careful with him to make sure that he was fully healthy by the time we brought him back. And he's still not 100%, but he's getting close. At this point, we're going to force him to go ahead and get going a little bit because at this point, you know, there's not a whole lot left to lose.
You talk about going like about A&T's offense in reference to what they can do. Do you have the quality people on the other side of the ball?
Defense, you know, I don't know. I hope we do, but now let me tell you, it's going to be a struggle. Their entire offensive plan is very similar to our plan. They want to stretch outside, make a defender field, have a good screen game, got a little power in that game. There are differences, but there are similarities. And, they can, anytime you try to, heavy up one place to stop something, make it pay somewhere else. Which is, what makes offensive football, what it is today, and what makes defensive football tough is that they make you defend the whole field. With that being the case, that's, it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be hard for us to stop them. Ricky Bustle, the offensive coordinator, is an experienced guy, who's got all of the bells and whistles around him to put in all the different kind of things he needs to do. We're gonna have to score to win the football game, and we think we can just stop this football team as we've done from time to time.
That Ricky
You're
Bussell
gonna have a hard time.
from Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Ricky used to, and Ricky, who from Somerville, and went to Clemson, and all that same Ricky Bustle. Is the offensive coordinator, been the offensive coordinator for the last 2 years.